There is a dangerous belief that countless people carry through life. If I just work harder, everything will eventually work out. At first, it sounds like wisdom. After all, hard work builds dreams, overcomes obstacles, and changes lives. But there is a question most people never stop to ask. What if you are working harder, but moving further away from the life you're trying to build? Today's story explores that question through the journey of a man who believed effort could solve every problem, until he discovered that some problems cannot be solved by working harder alone. As the story unfolds, you'll naturally encounter rich vocabulary woven seamlessly into the narrative, helping you improve your English while enjoying the journey. Now, let's begin. Marcus inherited a small farm from his father. It was not the largest farm in the valley. The soil was not the richest. The equipment was outdated. But Marcus saw potential. He remembered watching his father struggle through difficult seasons. His father was never wealthy, but he possessed something Marcus admired: unwavering perseverance. No matter how difficult life became, his father continued. When Marcus took over the farm, he made himself a promise. My father built this through hard work. I will make it successful through even greater effort. And Marcus kept that promise. Before sunrise, he was already in the fields. He inspected every crop, repaired every machine, carried every load, solved every problem. If a worker made a mistake, Marcus stepped in. If something broke, Marcus fixed it. If you want something done properly, he always said, do it yourself. Over time, that belief became deeply ingrained in him. But Marcus failed to notice something. A strength can become a weakness when it is taken too far. Years elapsed. Marcus became known as the hardest working farmer in the region. But behind his reputation was a hidden reality. His farm was struggling. The more problems he solved personally, the more dependent the farm became on him. His equipment frequently failed because maintenance was constantly delayed. His crops suffered because he was too busy fighting daily emergencies to notice long-term problems. His workers stopped taking initiative because Marcus always took control. Without realizing it, Marcus had created an inefficient system where every decision, every solution, and every responsibility returned to him. He was not building a successful farm. He was creating a farm that could not survive without him. Yet Marcus continued, I just need to work harder. But the harder he pushed, the more his health began to deteriorate. His energy disappeared. His patience faded. His family saw less and less of him. The dream he was chasing was slowly becoming the reason he was unhappy. Across the valley lived Nathan. His farm was twice the size of Marcus's. Yet what confused people most was not the size of his land. It was the way he worked. Nathan did not seem to live in his fields like the other farmers. While Marcus spent every hour physically working, Nathan spent time observing. He studied weather patterns, analyzed soil conditions, improved irrigation, created systems that allowed his farm to operate smoothly. Some farmers questioned him. He spends more time looking at numbers than working with his hands. He is too comfortable. A real farmer should be exhausted at the end of the day. Marcus secretly agreed. To him, effort was something people could see: sweat, long hours, physical sacrifice. But Nathan understood something Marcus had never considered. Activity and progress are not always the same thing. A person can spend an entire day working and still accomplish very little if their energy is directed poorly. Every year, Nathan's harvest flourished. His workers became more proficient. His farm became more efficient. When unexpected problems surfaced, his systems absorbed the pressure instead of allowing everything to collapse. Nathan was not working less because he cared less. He was working differently because he understood something Marcus had missed. The goal is not to spend more energy. The goal is to create more value from the energy you spend. One summer afternoon, Marcus was repairing an old irrigation pipe. The heat was unbearable. His hands were shaking, but he continued. Stopping felt impossible. Rest felt like failure. Then suddenly, his body gave up. Marcus collapsed beside his field. When he woke, he was in a clinic. The doctor looked at him intently. "Marcus, your body is keeping a record of every hour you refuse to rest." Those words remained etched in his mind. For the first time, Marcus looked at his farm differently. He saw the endless repairs, the unnecessary struggles, the fragile system he had created. And finally, he understood. He had mistaken exhaustion for progress, and constant activity for meaningful achievement. After recovering, Marcus visited Nathan. It was difficult for him. For years, he had secretly judged Nathan's approach, but now Marcus needed answers. "I've worked harder than anyone I know. So why am I the one always struggling? How have you managed to accomplish so much without living in your fields the way I do?" Nathan looked across Marcus's farm and asked, "Marcus, if you disappeared for 1 month, what would happen?" Marcus answered without hesitation, "Everything would collapse." Nathan nodded. "Then you do not own a farm." He paused. "Your farm owns you." Nathan did not teach Marcus to work less. He taught him to work differently. First, he built systems. He improved irrigation, created schedules, trained his workers. He stopped repeatedly solving the same problems. Second, he learned to focus. Not every task warranted equal attention. Some decisions could transform his entire farm. Others only created temporary relief. He learned to prioritize what created lasting results. Finally, he learned that rest was not weakness. It was preparation. A tired mind makes careless decisions. An exhausted person misses opportunities. Sustainable success requires energy, clarity, and balance. 6 months later, the valley noticed something different. Marcus was still hardworking, but he was no longer trapped by his farm. His workers understood their roles. His systems prevented problems. His decisions became sharper. And his harvest, it became the greatest his farm had ever produced. Not because Marcus worked harder, because his effort finally had purpose. Years later, a young farmer asked Marcus, "What is the secret to success?" Marcus looked across his fields and smiled. "When I was younger, I believed success belonged to the person who worked the longest. I thought exhaustion was proof of progress." He paused. "I was wrong. Hard work is one of life's greatest virtues. But when effort is guided by the wrong approach, it simply makes you better at repeating the same mistakes." The day my life changed wasn't the day I started working harder. It was the day I started asking whether my hard work was actually taking me forward. Because success is not measured by how much effort you give. It is measured by whether that effort creates meaningful progress. Work hard, but never become so busy working that you forget to ask whether you're building the life you set out to create. If this story left you with a thought worth keeping, let me know in the comments. And if you believe someone else could benefit from it, share it with them. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next story.